SUPERHOT is amazing. The end. Okay, in all honesty, there's plenty of reasons to go out and play this series of games. Being the original SUPERHOT, the VR spin-off / sequel, SUPERHOT VR, and the original solo expansion, Mind Controlled Elite. Though I'm just going to talk about the original right now. The others will come in a later video. For those of you who don't know, SUPERHOT is a first-person shooter indie game made in Unity by Team SUPERHOT. How creative. The unique gimmick here being that time moves when you do, meaning if you stop, time stops. Though it's not entirely true, time rather just slows to a crawl. Perfect for dodging bullets and lining up your own shots. It is a combination of strategy, satisfaction, meta-narrative, lore, and unique low-poly visual style. This game oozes flair while also remaining fairly subdued. It feels raw, yet restrained in all the right ways. It doesn't matter if you shoot an enemy in the head or toe. They will die and shatter beneath your feet all the same way. There's no kill streaks, scores, not including endless mode, not even a HUD, except for a small white crosshair in the center of the screen. It's just you and a level full of enemies, and you're just told to clear the room without getting hit. It's as stupidly simple as that. And the reward is the sound of those sweet sounding words, and being able to watch your run in real time without slow motion. Once you've easily gotten used to the mechanics and flow of the game, you feel like a god, toying with your enemies like puppets. I swear, this game is just catharsis incarnate. If I ever get stressed and need to lay off steam because I put hours of my life making content just so that no one ever watches it, I just play some SUPERHOT. Now that I'm done spending however many paragraphs of my script just gushing and rambling on about this game and how much I love it, let's talk about it in terms of game design. Because making two basic ass games and following Game Maker's toolkit apparently makes me knowledgeable in game design. So earlier I said this game is simple. Very simple. It's just you in a room full of enemies, and other than the odd story section, you were just told to kill anything that looks red to you, and make sure you don't get hit in the process. Adding to the simplicity, the game only makes you worry about 3 buttons that correspond to jumping, shooting, and grabbing, also being the main mechanics of the game. All of these contribute to the game's core gameplay loops, or in layman's terms, what the player does during the entire span of the game. The primary loop is the main thing a player does, such as jumping in Super Mario Bros., or in this case, shooting in SUPERHOT. The secondary loop and any other loops after that basically just add more depth to the primary loop, like adding tires to wheels so they can do their jobs better. Things like all the tricks you do in Mario games and the grabbing / throwing in SUPERHOT count towards distinguishing their gameplay loops from other games. This would already make it a good game, but I haven't even talked about its main selling point, the time slowing mechanic, hence the game's phrase, time moves when you do, or something like that. Perfect for lining up shots and dodging others like you're in the Matrix. Whenever you move, the enemies and bullets get faster. If you stop, everything slows down. It's a good risk-reward while also adding tension, especially when an enemy has their gun right in your face, able to shoot at any moment. Jumping is a good in-between, slowing down time a bit while also allowing you to move. Now what's a good killing simulator without weapons? Most weapons have a limited use and can be thrown to stagger enemies. There's 3 types of weapons, being melees, guns, and throwables. Melees just allow you to kill up close and block bullets, those being your fists, the default and a 3-hit combo, though they can't block bullets, a pipe, a bat, and my favorite weapon, the katana. No, I'm not a weep. The reason I like it so much is because it can slice enemies up and kill them up when thrown. It also doesn't have a limited use, so it can just go through entire levels cutting people like a goddamn madman. Then there's guns, killing at long range and need to reload after each shot. You got your straight and reliable 6-shot pistol, a bullet scattering shotgun that has 2 ammo capacity, and a bullet spraying assault rifle that can't reload. Each gun has its strengths and weaknesses, and your favorites can depend on preference, or just a pistol. Lastly, there's throwables, random objects found in the level that can be thrown to stagger enemies. Now because of the sheer amount, I'm not going to list them all, though what I will tell you is that anything that's pointy, like darts, will stick onto enemies and can kill them when thrown at the head. Enemies will also be able to use and pick up all these weapons, except for the throwables, and use them against you, though theirs don't have limited use, so you have to remember how these weapons work and how to maneuver around them. Now, let's talk about visual style. Immediately when you see an image, you know it's SUPERHOT. just like its gameplay. It's relatively simple, low quality characters, and a completely white environment with blue shading to signify depth. Compared to others, this game has a small color palette, almost monochromatic. The environment being white makes the characters and interactables stand out, which allows the player to focus on what they're doing without distraction or confusion. Anything red has the potential to kill you, and anything black can be interacted with. This also includes the player avatar. Now hear me out. I don't know if this was intended, but making the player avatar black could mean something more than just visual style. Since the game's narrative centers around you, the real-life person, playing this game as what is essentially an extension of yourself and interacting with the avatar by controlling its actions. Just like how you interact with the weapons, because what is a weapon other than just a disposable extension of the person? Just like how you can switch bodies later in the game, disposing of your previous avatar. But hey, whether intentional or not, it's a cool detail to have and good for theory crafting. Lastly, the story. It's essentially about some shadowy entity trying to get everyone to play its game so that it can absorb their minds into its system and create some sort of SUPERHOT cult. I think. Honestly, I don't know all that much about the story, but I do know that the entity made it so that everyone gets addicted to the game and spreads the word about it to others so that they can play as well. Wait a second. Shit. Thanks for watching this somewhat in-depth look at SUPERHOT. I would talk about it more, but I can only do so much editing during a 1-week period per video. So, if you like what you saw, and you want to see me talk about the rest of this series, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. And if you want to see everything else I do, make sure to check out my website, which also has all of my social media you can follow. It was even updated so you can check out my older accounts. Anyway, I'll see you next time.